I ask not in jest, and God forgive me if it is pride that dares to ask it. Is immortality still possible? Not the kind promised by physicians who fear death more than their patients do. Not the clever alchemy of men who bottle youth and inject it into their veins. I speak of the true thing, of the soul made whole, of the flesh transfigured, of the curse undone. They say it was once possible. Yes, I believe that. I believe it with the fervor of a drowning man reaching for breath. For there was a time, don't laugh, when men knew sin was a poison, not a pastime, and that to cleanse the body of it, one must do more than confess. One must suffer, one must serve, one must weep, kneel, bleed, and be still. And there was something else. There was oil. No, not superstition, not the fancies of monks and magicians, but chrism, the holy oil, prepared with bitter herbs and sacred fire, whispered over, prayed into, made with knowing hands in reverence, the same oil poured on kings and dying people, on the head of Christ himself. And yes, cannabis was there, not for intoxication, no, for illumination. They called it cannabism, but we in our error translated it away. Calamus, we made it safe, removed its teeth, took the fire out of the medicine. Do you understand what we lost? After the destruction of the temple, the oil ceased to flow, and in that silence the world grew cold. Men forgot how to be whole. Doctors began to war with the body, cutting, burning, poisoning, and calling it progress. But now the oil returns. I've seen it with my own eyes. It burns, it knows. You anoint the body, and where disease hides, the skin erupts in flame. And it is not madness, it is revelation. The body remembers what the mind has forgotten. I tell you this not as a preacher, but as a man astonished, because when the oil touches the skin, when the chrism, ancient and restored, meets the body full of sin and sorrow, something speaks. The flesh shudders, the sickness recoils, the soul trembles toward awakening. It is not a cure in the scientific sense, no, it is something deeper. It is the soul hearing its name again. I saw a dying dog, wicked, laid low by cancer, seizing, fading. We applied the oil, not in hope but in farewell, and he rose, not metaphorically. He rose, the seizures ceased, the tumors withdrew, his skin burned over the hidden wounds and healed. This is not fiction, this is not miracle in the cheap televised sense, this is testimony. To become immortal, one must cease sinning, not by law, but by longing. One must live for others, not in show but in sacrifice, and one must cleanse the body of the old sin embedded in flesh. The chrism is the only way I've seen it done. Call me mad, I don't care. I have looked too long into the abyss of death to dismiss a hand that reaches down to pull me back. And if oil, made from cannabis and cassia and cinnamon and tears, can awaken the dead in spirit and perhaps even in body, then what fools are we not to listen? Is immortality possible again? I say yes, but only if we are willing to be burned where we are sick. Only if we let the fire tell the truth. And only if we let ourselves be healed. Exodus 30:22-33. Divine chrism oil recipe. Ingredients: olive oil, 4 milliliters, cannabis resin 4 grams, essential oils, cassia 8 grams, myrrh 8 grams, cinnamon 4 grams. https://a.co/d/gfvao0 ihttps://a.co/d/b2qtqg